Okay. Obviously we got a firsthand look of why Southeastern Louisiana is 26-4, and they're a possession away from being undefeated the regular season. So hats off to them. Got a tremendous amount of respect. It's a healthy rivalry, with Southeastern Louisiana. Obviously we've had some epic games, and Ayla and her staff do a great job, and it is a true program. In this day and age, with the portal and everything else, that's not necessarily easy to do. And so certainly, I have a ton of respect for them. I thought we competed. We just sometimes, I know it may sound very simple, but you got to make shots. We struggled, especially from two. Just looking at the numbers, we were 6 of 31 from two. That's a little out of character, for us. So just didn't score it, at a rate that we would need to. But again, a lot of that, is a credit to Southeastern, Louisiana. But just extremely proud, of everybody in our program. Georgia was with me at Media Day, back in October, November. I remember saying that, given that we had lost, 69% of our scoring, we didn't have a preseason all-conference player, nothing. We had nobody that averaged double figures coming back, any of that. I said, I would be thrilled if we can make it, to the tournament and just finish in the top 8. At that point in time, I didn't know we were going to lose to injury over 180 games with players out to injury. And we've had 6 players out for the season since before Christmas. We had a 7th player that's been out since February 1st. So, it's a credit to the toughness and the resilience of the group that continue to forge on, if you will, and play. We still didn't end up with an all-conference player, which is, unusual. Obviously, some of the teams below us had, some that didn't even make the tournament had all-conference players. Some people had 2 players that were all-conference. But as we just talked about, it speaks to this was a true team. I don't know that we ended up. Georgia was sniffing 10 points a game. I don't know what the final numbers ended up, if we ended up with a player averaging over double figures, but it's very symbolic of what a team this was. And to win 18 games, get to the semifinals, is just certainly speaks to, what they accomplished this year.
With that resiliency you talk about, they come out, throw a couple haymakers early, but y'all were able to hang with them and cause some problems early. Just what was going well early for y'all, and then just how do you think that start kind of spoke to the resiliency of the group?
Yeah, I thought we were, again, I know it's cliche, but we were defending well enough, even though we weren't really scoring. I've jokingly said about us at times, hey, we'll make you play in the mud, a little bit, and lo and behold, it's 11-6 at the end of the first quarter. A few years, this predates these guys, but when we played them in the championship game in 2022, it was 5-5 at the end of the first quarter, and so. Obviously, both teams hang their hat on the defensive end, but it wasn't necessarily one big run. They got a 12-0 run at the end of the third quarter, unfortunately, and that kind of sealed our fate. But it was just a lot of little mini runs, and just never could quite. Our biggest run was 6, and so just couldn't quite get over the hump, and offensively and. We would get a couple stops, but then not score, so it's just kind of was tough to chip away at that. But again, like I said, it's a tough group. Talking about us, I thought we were both teams, but I mean, I thought we hung in there, we kept competing, and you saw that even in the fourth quarter, like we didn't just go away.
With that shooting again, yesterday against Northwestern, y'all coming out firing it.
Yep.
Shots. Today, not as much the case, but
No.
I think that had more to do with the defense.
Yes.
Side, or just
Yes, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Northwestern State, but they're not nearly the same level of defensively how good Southeastern is, and they're Southeastern. They're physical, they're long, they're athletic, they're schematically they rotate really well. Like you'll have a split second where you think somebody's going to have an open 3 or a drive to the rim, and they rotate so quickly, and they're so I would say connected. It's just. It was a grind, and it's, they're the type of team, as I jokingly say, like, this isn't 5-0 review. You don't just get to go run your play and think you're going to get a wide open look, because they're probably going to take away option 1, option 2, option 3, and they more or less, they force you to play without plays, but They were ready. Like I said, I give them it wasn't that we weren't. We were ready too, but they were ready. They watched us play yesterday. They saw us. I think we led for basically 39 minutes yesterday, and other than the opening possession, it was the only time Northwestern State had the lead. And so I tell these guys or the team all the time that, knowing the history between us and Southeastern, they have a very healthy respect for you. Like they're not going to sleep on you. There's going to be some teams that maybe they overlook you, they don't take you serious. Southeastern is not one of those teams, just because of some of the epic games that we've had over the years, and some of it's just it's how they're wired. A player like Alexis Horn is not going to settle, for anything less. And first half she didn't score. Goes 0 of 5, doesn't get to the free throw line. But she ends up with 6 points. But they still, obviously, they find a way to win.
Go to the players next. Dorian, just with all that your team has dealt with this year, just from the players' perspective, on injuries and everything that goes into that, just your thoughts on the team being able to band together and make the semifinals of the conference final.
I just think we persevered, through everything. I've been here 3 times, and I'm very glad to be here, very blessed to be here. I made the right decision coming to this team in order to get here again. But I think it just speaks to who we are. We came into the game. We respect Southeastern. We knew it was going to be a grind. We just needed to find other ways, since our threes weren't falling, other things weren't happening for us. We just needed to learn how to respond, and we did that throughout the season with, all the injuries. Even our injured players, people on the bench, they did their jobs. We wouldn't be here without the band, without our fans, without everybody on the bench, our bench players. So I'm just blessed. I'm blessed to be here, blessed to have this opportunity that Coach Dow gave me. I didn't think I would be able to do what I've done, get all-conference defensive player. Just blessed to have this opportunity. So great group of girls.
We had a very solid team this year. From the beginning, we had a full team, and that got cut short by 8 players. So we had 8 healthy, 7 injured, but they all showed up every day just like we did. They weren't counted out at all because they couldn't play. It was just as important, and they really showed up for us, and that helped throughout games where we were struggling and stuff. And we were just all a solid team. We all share the ball great. We feed off each other's energy perfect. And for our seniors, Brenna and Myra are people who have made me the player I am today. Especially Dory, dating back to when I was in 5th grade. We played in high school together and stuff. She played with my sister. So it's been a pleasure playing with them and learning from them, and we'll miss them next year.
Coach, just a final thought. With the portal era and all the injuries this year,
Yep.
heading into next season, it's kind of hard to get a read on, evaluating this season. So many
Yeah.
factors there. But just how do you take the progress from this year, getting back to the semifinal round?
Well, and we actually just talked about that in the locker room, and hopefully we can keep the band together. But we got a nice core. Obviously Georgia Elliott's going into her senior year. Ramey McCrary, started all season, going to be a junior. Myra Bell's obviously gone. That's and Dorian's gone. Those are big losses, of course. But Maddie Cockrell, who's very impactful. We're hoping to have Shiho Asono. She's got a bonus year that the NCAA has granted her because she went to junior college. And then a couple of our freshmen, Destiny Whitaker and Bryn Lusby. I know they had off days today, but again, we're not sitting here today if they didn't do what they did for us throughout the season and the big impact they had on the game. And so I feel like we got a nice nucleus, of players coming back. We got a couple incoming freshmen as well. So just, and that was kind of one of the things we try to impart on the younger ones is, I tried to tell them this the other day, even as far back as when we clinched a spot, don't take this for granted. One of our core values is appreciation because, right now, I don't know what the number is, but probably 75% of the country's done playing, as we speak. And we played, we're still playing today, and we were alive and to play. So hopefully there's a hunger and a desire. And, like you said, the portal's made it a little bit different. And as I said, the portal giveth, sometimes the portal taketh away, So, but the thing that we have, and I made this comment about Southeastern, that's a program, and not a team. That's a program, and there's a massive difference, And we feel like because we are a program, we've been able to sustain some hits. Or the year that we won the conference tournament, we arguably lost our two best players. First team guard and Jocelyn Moore, who went on to North Texas, and then the tournament MVP and Tiana Gardner transferred to Grambling. All we did next year was set a school record for wins. And then the following year, another school record. And then this year, with all the losses, we still won 18 games. So I'd like to think we can sustain it. I know the competition is going to be stiff, that the SFAs and the Lamars and they're not going anywhere. They're going to be tough. So, but we look forward to that challenge.
We'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Thank you.